Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The Ukrainians returned Russia's favor, which is attacking their cities within Russia, and there are three areas that were struck. One was in Crimea, which the Ukrainians consider being theirs and the Russians consider it being their own, and two other ones in Belgorod and Kursk. So the Ukrainians are hitting within Russia now, as I stated, more and more. Because that's what you do. You shoot one time, you don't even claim responsibility, see how the other side reacts, and then you up your little tactics and actions. And I've never said that, for instance, Ukraine is not entitled, or it shouldn't be fair for them to hit inside Russia. Not because I want that to happen, but since Russia hits towns and cities in Ukraine, I think Ukraine is entitled to respond in kind. So the article comes from the New Voice of Ukraine from December 17th, 2022, today. At around 12:20 a.m., Telegram channels for Simferopol, the regional capital of Crimea, began reporting that explosions had been heard throughout the city. Russian propaganda channels immediately called the explosions act of sabotage and claimed that Russian military fuel tanks and materiel may have been damaged. However, the information has not been verified. Casualties reported in large-scale fire incident in occupied Crimea. Other channels also reported alleged explosions in the town of Bakhchisarai. That's how you pronounce it, I guess. At around the same time, local communities in Russia's Belgorod Oblast also reported a series of explosions. Sounds of a blast can be heard on one video shared by local residents. If true, these blasts would have taken place at approximately the same time frame as air raid sirens rang out in eastern and southern Ukraine. Further reported explosions in Belgorod were recorded around 1:50 a.m., with a local resident's car allegedly impacted by a fragment of ammunition debris. Later on, around 2 a.m., more blasts were reported in the Russian city of Kursk, though further details are not known at this time. A video recording the sound of an explosion was posted by local Kursk social media accounts. Well, the Russian authorities have not officially commented on these matters as of publication. And the publication was done today at 6:46 a.m. Probably Kiev time, or at least Ukraine time, let's put it this way, even though I don't know if Ukraine expands over two time zones, but anyway, you get the point, somewhere in the morning. So that occurred, these three attacks or sabotage by the Russians, not known yet, reported by the Ukrainians, occurred during the night, which one at about midnight, a little bit past midnight, the other one at 1 something, and the other one at 2. So within a frame of 2 hours, all these three targets were attacked. Explosions, fires, and these are short-range missiles, drones, whatever was used. Maybe some operation conducted in the territory, if you know what I mean. But I'm expecting the Ukrainians to hit further, much further. Let's say, yes, Moscow. I'm expecting some, I mean, they already had, being the Russians, already had about, I don't know, 6 or 7 fires, in the area already. I think 4 in Moscow, with a mall, with a factory, with 2 other locations, and they're all fires, just happened. You don't hear about a massive fire in, I don't know, years, but during the war, in about 3 weeks, like 4 fires in Moscow. And then if you remember that the biggest refinery in Siberia also caught fire in about, what, 2 months apart or 1 month apart, explosions and all that. I don't know. It's just too coincidental to say, oh yeah, just the Russians all of a sudden become slackers or something. Not impossible, but very improbable. Let's put it this way. Always work with possibilities and probabilities. Is this possible? Like you say, okay, now is it possible to see a unicorn? No. Probable? Obviously not. Is it possible to see an elk? Yeah, it's possible. Is it probable? No. You know, you always work with this in, you know, you rarely have absolutes, like, for instance, the unicorn story, like, not probable, not possible. But who knows, nowadays probably that's possible under the current circumstances. So let's see what the Russians are doing. In another 2 or 3 articles that I read, the Ukrainians again came at got rid of the 3 to 4 missile attacks. So they said, well, the Russians depleted their stockpiles of missiles and rockets, therefore they may be capable of 3 or 4 attacks. Now they did 3, they got 1 more, or let's say 2, 1 or 2, 2 more, and then they're done. But when Ukrainians realized that they gave a kind of like a finite number, which is 4, and then if the Russians will conduct a 5th attack, they will be caught with a lie, and they will be caught with a lie. Because I don't think Russia is 4 times and done, hey guys, here is my underwear, peace. I don't think that's going to happen, or my shirt, whichever comes first off. And it depends on each person's abilities. So that's one. And then they started saying about a week ago, maybe 8-9 days. Oh, actually, there was one article with a, I don't know, Podolyak or whomever he said, Yermak or something. Ignat, not the Yermak, saying that, well, the Russians are capable of maybe several more. We know several more is, you don't have a finite number. Several could be 50, depending on the number. You know, if you consider a number being 1,000, then you say several. Could be, I don't know, 20, could be 7, could be 9, could be 25, but several attacks. Okay, and yesterday, as I said, about 3 articles I read with the same title. One from Zelensky, one from this, one from that, that it's already common knowledge that Russia has several more, which is a weasel way of saying we don't know how many, but not many. Okay, thank you very much for the information. So I wonder what the Russians will do right now. Probably will start again blowing up infrastructure in Ukraine, and maybe, I don't know, blame the Royal Navy or who knows what, CIA and Special Forces, Green Berets and something, because it becomes more and more obvious that NATO, let's say NATO being in this case 3, because I take Poland, the United States and Great Britain, the most possible and probable offenders from the Russian perspective. They have troops on the ground operating different little tasks. It's going to become how should I, not all obvious, it is already obvious, it's going to become official, I would say, in about 2-3 weeks, when these guys are going to send their Patriot missiles to Ukraine. The Patriot missiles cannot be operated by the Ukrainians, cannot be trained that fast, so they would be, and everybody's like a shush known thing. Zakharova said the same thing. It doesn't mean that she can't lie or something. No, I didn't say that. But when Colonel McGregor said about the HIMARS, the same thing. Now Patriot require about 80 personnel, military personnel to function the battery. That's what they said. So 80, do you think that 80 will just pick up some Ukrainians and some... not impossible. So possible, not probable. All right. I mean, the probability is low. Possibility, it's a little bit higher than the probability. Anyway, we'll see what Russia's reaction would be to this one. And as I said, I think I'm going to do what they do best, bomb the infrastructure. Thank you very much for being with me again today. stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.